All right, guys, we're getting back to the R33. This is a super cool color. This is actually one of my favorite cars. This BN6 is really sick. We're going through, we're tuning, we're actually putting a Haltech on this car. It's needed it since it's come from Japan. And I'll show you guys the screen and everything working. But we had to switch the wideband sensors. All right, so this is what we did here. So we have the Haltech sensor with the jumper harness. This harness is the same on R33, R34. Pro tip is to make sure your ends are actually pushed down, not just your bolts and stuff like that. This is their auxiliary for the dual widebands. So we are going to be actually changing a map sensor to external out there, as well as adding all the additional sensors. This was just to get the car up and running. So pretty simple, straightforward stuff. We had to grab power, so we grabbed it in from the initial harness here. Real simple, but we did that. That's where this comes from. And then these two go out to the actual wideband sensors themselves. We had a little bit of an issue on this car. Come on in here, I'll show you. That's the gist of that there. So what we did is we had to switch the sensors themselves. One's right here. This is for the back turbo. And then the other sensor is right down here. You can see this gray harness. So these two wires are what's going through the firewall, as well as the boost wire that we did. And we have the mines pipes on this car. Wideband sensor is actually a lot bigger. This is an aftermarket sensor they put in, but a lot of stuff in Japan, they use a narrow band. So we went wideband, and the sensor itself here is actually wider, almost as wide as a thread. And we had an issue of it actually threading in all the way, but we fixed that. We got it sorted out. So the car starts, but what I wanna do is I wanna bring you guys like future video and kind of show you all the stuff that I had to learn how to do. You'll notice that there's a coil pack out with a spark plug wire. We were checking base map timing per Andrew at Animal Auto and what he wanted to see with it. We actually upgraded the battery in the back. So we didn't really like actually upgrade it. We just went to a regular lead cell battery. A lot of people I always see asking what batteries to use. Do you use Optimas, do you use Yellow Tops, Prius batteries? You can find these on Amazon, eBay. These are basically a US to JDM adapter. It works really well for this car. So I'm gonna be basically switching this out. So this is a standard, the BCI 47, which is the same as this battery that was in the car. You can actually see it, but this battery is like swollen. So Andrew can give you some details. I think he put some stuff on his social media about swollen batteries. There's a huge issue he had with TJ Hunt's car, sensor voltage issues, voltage drops, things like that. So when he saw the car and he tested some stuff, he highly recommended I switch out the battery, even though this battery has never failed me. Brand new, same battery. 47 is the number, H5. Some batteries, I think like on my R34, you can actually slide out without taking the wall out. This one is a little bit thicker of a battery. I have a Japanese battery in there. This one will mount back in. This will go back in place right here perfectly. And this thing comes back across just like it's supposed to. So that's the battery specifically for this car. It works out perfect. We set base timing. I'll show you guys that. We actually were setting it with this wire back here. We were checking the timing with this, but it actually was not accurate. It looked like it was advancing quite a bit. So we went and got this and we were able to check the sensors. I'll show you guys how this works in a second here. So what we did is we pull a coil pack here. So this is what normally goes down and shoots into the actual spark plug itself. And this coil wire now jumps in and goes down in there. This was just purchased from AutoZone. This is just an Excel single wire kit that they had in stock. You can use any random kit. You do need to actually have this sensor flowing this way into the actual coil itself. You need to make sure nothing is going to be touching onto the fan blade or anything like that. So we're going to start this car, let you guys hear it, and I'll show you guys how it works like actually on the Haltech. And we're going to go through the actual tuning process very soon with this car. But before you do that, you have to make sure everything's mechanically set up. Back during SEMA time, Andrew was actually here in Las Vegas at the SEMA trade show, came, looked at the car, went through it, checked it out, and loaded a base map so the car would actually start up. Fast forward, GTR Fest. You guys have seen a couple other videos. It's been sitting, been working on it, so we're getting ready to actually do final tuning really soon. So right now, you guys can see the idle's a little high, but this is just a basic startup map to get things, measure things. But we were actually in here in the electrical area. I'm not telling you I know what I'm talking about here, guys, but this is the Haltech system. It has tons and tons of different variables and parameters that the tuner can actually dial in and go through. I'm just simply kind of showing you the actual product, what I use on my cars, why I use the Haltech. This is a USB cable that's tied right into the ECU itself. The other systems, I just don't believe they're as, some of them are controlling the factory ECU, the piggyback systems. I wouldn't do that. But the Haltech is the way to go. I'm also including all new sensors in the future here. So this car always ran before, but it's had some hesitation issues and things like that based on the tune. This car was a Mines tuned car. So this is what we pulled out. And obviously I showed you the jumper harness. That plugs into the Haltech unit, which plugs into the Elite 2500. But I talked to the guys at Mines when I was in Japan last year, and they explained to me that it should be good, but I didn't like the hesitation. I didn't feel like it was enough power. But they use a totally different fuel over there than we do, especially here in California, Nevada, Arizona. We use 91, so it's kind of crap fuel. So this is where I check the base timing. You guys can see that light, and you can look down in there. You probably can't see it on camera straight down. So you can see like where it's actually set. You actually lock that through the Haltech computer to make sure that it's not drifting or moving or anything like that. So right now it's not locked, so you can actually see it moving. I don't know if you can see it on camera there. You guys can actually see it like actually move. So I don't know if you guys can actually see that or catch it. See, it was actually locked. The timing will lock, so then as you drive, the tuning does move and pull around and stuff like that. So, but to check it, you want to get a good solid baseline tuning. So that's what I've been doing. I've been getting this car perfectly ready mechanically for the tune side of things. And there's always a big problem. Tuner points to mechanical, and mechanical says the tuner's fault. So you got to work together with everybody. So I recommend like working with someone that can do both. So guys, I'll go through a full video on this car in the future. Let me just finish dialing in. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about Haltech, but I'll go over more and more as I learn. I'm not an actual tuner. I'm not a professional. I've worked on cars for 20 years, but I can wire this up, so I did that. And I'm still even learning this very specific niche things to do. I'm gonna be doing a couple other cars here for friends in Vegas and having Andrew do the tuning and stuff like that on them. But just kind of want to give you guys an update on where I was with stuff, and I really appreciate a lot of the comments on the versus video, which was the GTR versus the GTT, both the R34s. So I will take some of those and I'll make some more videos on some of those topics and give you guys some more details. But for now, I'm gonna get this thing up and running. I do have some more stuff on the R34 GTR that just came in from Japan. So a new front lip will go on that, just a new clean, fresh look. So stay tuned, I appreciate you guys, and see you guys on the next video.